You wrapped copper wire on your hook and cast it in. Nothing happened on the retrieve, and nothing explained why. You tried it again on a different spot at a different time. The result came back exactly the same on every cast. You went back to what you were using before the copper and concluded that copper wire fishing is overhyped. I have received hundreds of messages saying exactly that, and every single one of them describes the same 5 mistakes. The wire is not the problem in any of those cases. What happened before the cast is the actual problem, and the fix for every single mistake costs nothing. Copper generates a 0.3 volt galvanic field in water. The lateral line of largemouth, catfish, and crappie detects that field at 11 milliseconds from the point of contact. That is faster than any artificial lure triggers a strike response, but the entire effect depends on clean, unobstructed contact between the copper surface and the surrounding water. Any barrier between the copper and the water eliminates the field. It does not reduce the field by a partial percentage. It shuts down the entire galvanic output in every case. These 5 mistakes each create a different version of that barrier. We are going through every one of them starting right now, starting with the one that 90% of anglers commit the very first time they ever attempt copper wire fishing. Mistake 1 is consistently using wire at the wrong gauge. Most anglers pick up whatever copper wire is at the hardware store without checking the gauge number printed on the spool. That decision determines whether the galvanic field reaches the fish or stops completely before it ever leaves the hook. The correct gauge range is 18 to 22. Wire heavier than 18 gauge does not flex correctly around the hook shank. It creates rigid pressure points where the wire lifts away from the metal. At those pressure points, water contact is reduced or lost entirely. The galvanic circuit requires continuous surface contact to function. A break in contact anywhere means a break in the signal. Wire thinner than 22 gauge is a different problem. It snaps during the cast or on the first contact with any resistance. Once the wire breaks, the galvanic field is gone completely. Dr. Marcus Webb at the University of Georgia has measured galvanic field output across multiple gauge ranges and documented that wire outside the 18 to 22 range reduces effective signal output by up to 40% compared to wire within that range applied to the same hook. The fix costs exactly the same as the wrong choice. 18 to 22 gauge bare copper wire is available is in the electrical section of any hardware store. Most anglers never check the gauge label on the spool. That number is the difference between a working method and a method that produces nothing and gets abandoned. The next mistake is worse than getting the gauge wrong. Most anglers make this one on every trip they fish without knowing it destroys everything the wire should be doing. Mistake 2 comes down to surface preparation before wrapping. New copper wire straight from the spool has an oxidation coating that forms during storage and shipping before it ever reaches the store. That coating is thin enough to be invisible to the naked eye. It is thick enough to block the galvanic signal completely. When anglers wrap new wire directly from the spool without any preparation, they are wrapping a layer of insulation around the hook and casting it into the water, expecting an electrical signal that the invisible coating will not allow to pass through. Dr. Webb has specific field data on this exact point. An untreated oxidation coating on factory new copper wire reduces the galvanic signal output by up to 70% compared to identically gauged wire that has been prepared correctly. 70% loss before the rig ever hits the water. The preparation fix takes approximately 10 seconds. Sand the wire lightly with medium grit sandpaper before wrapping. A few passes along the length of wire you plan to use. That removes the oxidation layer and exposes clean copper that generates the full 0.3 volt field on contact with water. This preparation step is not optional in any situation. Skipping it is the primary reason anglers report inconsistent results with copper wire across multiple trips on multiple bodies of water. Mistake 3 is the one that surprised me the most when I first understood what was actually happening. Mistake 3 is the tension used when wrapping the wire. Most anglers either wrap too tight or wrap too loose. Both produce serious signal problems through different mechanisms. Wrapping too tight compresses the coils against each other and closes the gaps that exist between the wire turns. Water needs to move between those gaps to maintain contact across the entire surface area of the wrapped wire. When the gaps close, the effective contact area drops by more than half. Signal output drops in direct proportion to lost contact area. Wrapping too loose sends the wire sliding off the hook within 2 to 3 casts, ending the galvanic effect entirely. The correct tension produces adjacent coils that touch without overlap between coils and without any binding. Water moves freely through every gap between coils. The galvanic field radiates from the full surface area of the wire, rather than only from the isolated points where coils touch. Cover 60 to 70% of the total hook shank. That range maximizes galvanic surface area without restricting water flow. That covers 3 mistakes with a specific fix for each. Before mistake 4, anglers who get consistent results with copper wire understand that fixing the wire is one layer of a larger system. Knowing when the fish are actually active multiplies everything. Moon phases, barometric pressure, and water temperature together create a window within the day where any correctly applied technique produces more fish than any technique applied outside that window. I organized everything I know about those patterns into a complete system available to anglers who want consistent results. Scan the QR code in the top left corner of your screen, or click the first link waiting in the description below. Stay here because the next 2 mistakes explain something that nobody else has been willing to talk about directly. This next one explains why your copper works one day and does nothing on the very next trip on the same water. Mistake 4 is exactly where on the shank you wrap the wire. The galvanic field radiates from the surface of the copper in all directions when the wire is in contact with water. But the field intensity at any given point in the water is highest immediately adjacent to the wire surface and decreases as distance from the wire increases. Most anglers wrap the center section of the hook shank because it is the easiest part to access and grip. That positions the galvanic signal at the midpoint of the hook. The fish, approaching from below or behind the bait, encounters the field as a diffuse background signal rather than as the immediate and concentrated cloud that fires the feeding response at the point of approach. The correct position is the lower third of the hook shank, as close to the bend as the wrapping geometry allows. This places the galvanic signal at the exact point where the fish will make first contact with the presentation. The galvanic signal reaches the fish at maximum field intensity at the moment of investigation, rather than after the fish has passed it. Dr. Webb's data on hook position shows that wrapping the lower third compared to the center section produces measurably higher strike rates on identical water and identical bait across the same session. The explanation is field proximity at the moment of approach. Moving the signal toward the bend is a zero-cost change that produces results the first time it is applied correctly. The last mistake is the one that nobody discusses directly. It is the most likely reason your copper stopped producing after the first few trips, even if everything else was right. Mistake 5 is reusing wire that is oxidized between sessions. Copper wire exposed to open air between fishing sessions accumulates oxidation across the full wire surface. The same coating that came on the wire from the factory forms again after air exposure over days or weeks. An angler who sanded the wire before the first session and did not replace the wire before the next trip out is using wire with the oxidation problem that mistake 2 describes. That signal reduction compounds with each additional session. By the 3rd or 4th session without replacement, the wire may be producing less than 20% of the output it produced when it was freshly prepared. That reduction explains the most common feedback pattern from anglers who have attempted copper wire fishing. First session, the results come back strong and consistent. Second session, the results drop in a noticeable way. Third session, results become inconsistent at best. Fourth session, the method gets abandoned entirely. Each of those 4 outcomes shares a single cause: oxidation accumulating across sessions on unreplaced wire. The fix is straightforward and costs almost nothing. That has been used in more than 2 fishing sessions. A standard roll of 18 to 22 gauge copper wire is enough material for an entire season of replacement at that rate. The total cost for a full season roll is under $2. The combination of all 5 mistakes compounds the signal loss. Dr. Webb's documentation shows that an angler running incorrect gauge, unsanded wire, wrong tension, wrong position, and consistently reused oxidized wire, in combination may be generating less than 5% of the galvanic signal that correctly prepared copper wire of the same gauge produces. That 5% output explains why anglers quit the method. Not because copper wire fishing does not produce results, because they were never getting the signal that makes it work. The 5 mistakes are fixable on any trip using only what you already have. No new gear is required and no product needs to be bought. The preparation takes minutes, and the fixes hold across every session. The only input is preparation time and the knowledge of what to check. Every angler who has told me copper wire did not work for them was making at least 3 of these mistakes without knowing it. Every angler who corrected all 5 reported results on the very next trip. If you want to fish with a complete understanding of timing, water reading, and the gear combinations that multiply every technique, scan the QR code in the top left corner of your screen, or click the first link waiting in the description below. The complete system is waiting for you inside the angler's vault.